Welcome one, welcome all to the Jerkmonger Show. I am your host, the Jerkmonger, coming at you pre-recordedly from the Mongermobile. Anyway, hey guys, I just wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at. I just got back from MegaCon this past weekend here in Tampa. Well, it's actually in Orlando, Florida. I'm back in Tampa. I just dropped off my kids. I'm at school. I'm just I had a great weekend hanging out with Andy and my crew, the Lab Comics guys, Jose Varice, Daniel Delisky, and Mark Pennington. We had a great time. We bonded a bit. I'll give a shout out to my friend Chris Miller, who's a fantastic framer, among other things. And of course to Andy's wife Bree for doing such a great job with getting our meals. We rented a house, Airbnb thing, and man, what a difference in terms of staying in a home, having your own space versus a hotel room. I gotta definitely try that more often. That's actually a good thing. One of these days I'm gonna do like a best practices convention thing, like things that I've learned through conventions. If you guys are interested in that sort of thing in terms of like getting information as to how to, I mean, a long time ago I used to listen to a podcast called Web Comics Weekly, and it was about 4 different comic strip artists. I forget all the names right now. I know Scott Kurtz was one of them, and Brad Geiger, and Dave Kellett. I always forget the last guy. Gosh, I always forget. Yeah, I liked them a lot too. Anyway, they talked a lot about doing conventions and what they would do when they would go to conventions and getting like little kids started, all that sort of stuff. So I'm definitely going to try to get something like that together for you guys eventually, where we can kind of just, you know, best practices. Anyway, so the con was great, but you know, definitely there's some things to work on, and it just reminds me more and more and more. And this is the thing I want to just share with you guys this morning. A lot of you who are creators, this is for my creator friends. These are for all you artists, for all you creators, writers, artists, inkers, letterers, colorists, blah 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 blah. Anyone that has a dream and a desire to make something, I genuinely I'm trying to encourage. My eyes are all teary. I'm gonna cry. I am genuinely encouraging you guys to seriously consider becoming your own boss, man. Like, work towards that. Work towards being more than just a work for hire person. Man, that place is so full of people, and it's sad because so many people they just want that job, or they just want the name recognition. If I could just work for Disney, if I could just work for Marvel, man, if I could just get that gig with DC, man, I'd be set. And it's funny, there's something I pointed out in the past. You know, every one of these companies only has so many projects, so many books, right? And each book has its writers. Each book has its artists. And that includes inkers, pencilers, colorists, letterers, the whole shebang. Sometimes they have production departments. Sometimes they have whatever. What I'm saying is, when a company reduces its number of issues, let's say Marvel, I don't know how many titles Marvel has. Let's just assume it's about, let's say 50. Let's just say 50. I know DC had 50 for a second. That's 50 pencilers, 50 inkers. I'm just saying, maybe at least or less, right? More or less, because maybe 50 pencilers, maybe not. Maybe some pencilers can draw 2 books a month, so that's 2 gigs. Maybe not. Maybe some inkers can do more work than a month worth of work, right? I know writers can write multiple things, but they have the most because they can control how they write. It's a lot less. It's a little more abstract, so it's not always has to be specific. So some writers write multiple projects. It's not as time consuming to write as it is to draw the story itself. Letterers tend to take on more work because it's faster work. Same as a writer. They can work a little faster. Still very important. All these things still have tremendous skill, but I'm saying that there's only so many jobs out there. All right? There's only so many jobs. There's only so many gigs. There's only so many penciling jobs. Now think about how many of these young people, how many, not just young people, did you hear me? I just said not just they're young people. Not just young people, but aspiring artists of all ages, sizes, genders, colors, ages, all going for the same job. Is it starting to click yet? Like, how can everybody be going for the same 50 jobs? And it's like, let's just say, for argument's sake, there are 100 people going out for jobs. Let's just pretend that there are only 100 people looking for those 50 jobs. We know that there's more than that. We know I can get 100 people just in one convention. So we got all these people. Not to mention, by the way, the other guys who are professionals who are also looking for those same jobs. Maybe such and such artist that worked on Spider-Man, is now working on another book, and that book gets canceled or it wraps up, and now they're looking for that job. Now you're competing not just against the hordes, because it's not just the hordes of the 100 artists. It's not. It's like thousands of people looking for the same 50 jobs at DC. So the dream is, man, if I could just be. I'm going to be, when people say I'm going to work for DC or I'm going to do this, I understand what they're saying, but in reality, only so if all 100 people, I'm just using 100 as a number to represent really thousands of people. The same thousands of people, let's make it 1,000 people. Let's just break it down to 1,000 at some level or another. If I could just work, I'm going to work. If you're all starting at the same age, how many of you will get that job, assuming that the guy or gal working on that job doesn't keep that job? How many of the thousands of people who are all committed and are believing with all their might to get that job are going to get that job? It's not to say maybe it'll happen one day. That's a beautiful dream. One day. But one day might be 20 years from now, 10 years from now, maybe 5 years from now. And so everyone is just waiting for this company to bless them so they can become the next big star. Which, by the way, is a shrinking business in general. As far as comic shops and comic books, companies, and everyone's just going crazy trying to make this thing work. And I'm glad for that because I love comics. I really do. I complain about comic books a lot. I complain about comic book business and industry a lot. But the reality is I love this business. I love what I'm doing, man. But there's definitely a drawback, and that's something that we all have to genuinely consider. There are only so many jobs out there, guys. So what does that mean? Let me get to the punchline. I've just described in terrible detail what the difficulty is going to be for any one young person or not young person, aspiring artist to get that job. Maybe the solution is make your own stuff. Get your own work out there. Become your own editor, your own art director. Do it. What's holding you back? For all the time and all the effort you put into doing your portfolio for a possible review, maybe you get that job. Oh my gosh. You could. Let me put it this way. Wouldn't it be cool if you were doing your own thing and your stuff was so, excuse my French, guys, so badass? All right? that they came looking for you versus you looking for them. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if you were doing your own thing, you know, and you were, because a lot of people are talking like the way I talk. Man, I just want to do this for a living. Let me tell you, it's been hard for me. The last few years, I've been doing this on my own. It's been a challenge. God has blessed me and is always taking care of my family. But it's not without its stresses and its challenges to me personally. How long how many people can do this? I'm telling you, I had the same thought. I'm going to do this. Yeah, I am going to do this, but I'm not going to do it necessarily for them. And that's my point. I'm done. I've been done for a while, but I'm letting you know. I'm letting you guys know. I'm not holding out for them anymore. I heard someone say this recently on one of the videos. They're not coming. Marvel's not coming for me. DC's not coming for me. They're not going to come rescue me. The hurricane called the industry has come, has left my home desolate, and I'm on the rooftop hoping someone will show up and rescue me. They're not coming. You've got to do something for yourself. You've got to create your own IPs, your own intellectual properties. You've got to be the captain of your future. You've got to do it. Stop depending on other people. Now, does that mean we can't help each other along the way? Of course. Of course we can. You know, if I were you guys, I would bring my portfolio to a convention and I would look for artists or other people who are sharp, maybe an editor, to look at your work, to give you some critique so you can get better at your own thing. And then you doom kick them right in the nads and you do your awesome work. And then guess what? Eventually, when you're great because of their advice, they'll come looking for you. It won't be you looking for them. And I think that's the most important thing. I think when you achieve that level of professionalism, excellence, the tables will turn and people will stop pushing you away like you're a bothersome fly. And they'll come around going, hey, what's going on over here? Man, this guy's getting a lot of attention. Hey, maybe you should come over here to our team. If that's what you want. But by then, if you're that successful that people are looking for you, you won't be needing them anymore. But that's the truth. That's what that looks like. When you stop looking for the job and they start trying to recruit you, all of a sudden, that's telling. And I'm just saying that all of you have the potential for that. I'm not sure that all of you will. I'm not sure that all of you have the skill. But all of you have potential. Maybe some of you are pencilers or inkers. Maybe some of you are wannabe pencilers, but you're a better inker. Maybe some of you are better colorists than you are pencilers or inkers, or whatever. Whatever the order that is in. Whatever. If you love this industry that much and you want to get working here, there's work for that's that kind of work. Maybe you can contact Richard Meyer. Maybe he has a job for you. If you're good. You know, I talked to these two young guys this weekend, and man, they talk big. I loved it, man. I loved it, and they have some stuff to work on. They're starting a company. They're excited about it, and they're talking like it's going to happen, and I love that. And guess what, man? The young guy, I think he's the VP of this. I think I heard him. I read a post that I said that he's also a penciler in the group. Man, he's getting better. I saw his work last year. To now, he's getting better. He's improved a lot. He's getting better. If you work on your stuff, it'll work. Anyway, I'm just anti-intimidation. I'm anti-slavery. I'm anti-us feeling like we're subservient. We're gonna be. Please, our hands out. Please bless me. Bless me, DC. Bless me, Marvel. I have nothing against those companies necessarily. It's not that they're bad people. I'm not saying that at all. I love a lot of the artists that work for those companies, I love a lot of them. I love many, many, many of them. I love those characters, especially. Trust me, this is not I'm not hating on any of those guys. What I am is I don't want to be, I'm tired of being like, oh man, I need somebody else to make me better. No, 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 no. You can do it. You can go out there and kick their arses. You could do it, but you gotta be flexible. You gotta be willing to learn, and you gotta be diligent. You gotta be on it. You gotta be working on this all day. You gotta make this your life. This is, I eat, breathe this industry, this business. Not the industry, the business. I do it. I'm day in, day out. That's all I talk about is this stuff. So my wife doesn't enjoy that as much, but you know, I appreciate that. I try to curb my conversation for her, but the reality is, this is what I live for. So I'm going to be successful, but it may not be at DC or Marvel, and most likely, I don't really want to work for them. I want to work for myself. But maybe for you, maybe you can be successful, and maybe it can be with Marvel and DC. But I hope that you guys will consider your own selves as potentially great. Now, all of you are amazing. You're probably not amazing, but you can be. But you got to work hard. All right, kids, that's all I got for you today. A little long. Sorry about that. We will definitely talk soon. God bless you guys. I'll see you guys later on Doug's show, 11 p.m. Well, Central, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see y'all later.